Yeah? What'd you do, Deborah? That a girl. All right. Is sleep important? Yeah. And you got a car accident? Texting and driving? Oh. Need a lawyer? Oh, I hexed you. I put a jinx on you? That hurts me. Kind of. Somebody else do anything exciting? That's it? You guys, what'd you do? What'd you do? You worked all weekend. Where do you work? One more time. The energy drink. Aha. Okay, I got it. That's it? You guys are just bored. You guys just boring lives? What do you do? Worked. Where do you work? Yes, sir? Oh, I thought you said you worked. Samir, did you work? You didn't work. I thought I said, yeah. I work. You work. Was the Post Oak busy? It was. Okay. How long have you guys been open?
6 months.
Huh.
6 months.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good. Okay. Well, you guys had plenty of time to think about these. Did they drive you crazy?
Yes. Yeah.
Who got them all right? Sarah, did you? All right. That a girl. Some of these, Deborah, you did too?
With the help of Google.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, let's just go through them, shall we? All right. So we have the first one we did together, right? Excuse me. Audrina? Yeah, excuse me. Is it Andrina? Audrina. Audrina. I had it right. Okay, thank you. And then banana split. All right, wait. Who got number 3? Raise your hand if you think you got number 3. Hold on. You think you got it? Okay, hold on. Dean, what do you think number 3 is? Dude, no, paradox. You're right on target. That's fabulous. Does everybody get that? Yeah, no. Yeah, Sarah, make sure we're on the right track. Paradox. Paradox. That's, if you're not familiar with the word, sorry. Yeah, I've got extras if you need it. Or Spencer brought extra. Thank you. Here we go. Yeah. Anybody need them? Raise your hand. We'll get them out to you. Here we go. Piper needs one. Oh, no, not Piper. I don't have your name tag. Thank you. All right, can't see it. Spencer, get one up to her, will you? Yeah. Oh, yeah, top hat. Hold on. We'll get to top hat. 1 second. Yeah, hold on. Wait, what was I just telling you? Paradox. It's like an oxymoron. Paradox. Jumbo shrimp. Honest lawyer. Happily married. Fox News. No, just kidding. Let it go. All right, we'll come back to this in a minute. Spencer reminded me. Oh, no, we're not doing top hat in here, are we? Did I ask you guys to do top hat? No. That's all right. Not in this class. Yeah, no. We're not going to do it. No, don't log into this because no, don't. No. But I am taking attendance in here from time to time. We're going to pass it around or by things you turn in the class. That's how we take attendance, right? And if you're here and not prepared, so if I ask you to study something and I ask you a question about it and you're like, man, I don't have any idea, then you're not here. Do you get that? That's an absence. So you got to be prepared. You guys see what happens when everybody's engaged and we have good conversation. That requires you guys to do the work that I ask you to do outside. All right. So we got paradox. Hey, that's a great one. For those of you that got it, that's really heavy thinking, and it's good. If you lived in Texas at all, you got number 4? Foreclose. Number 5. Hold on. Did anybody have trouble with number 5? Number 5, everybody get it? Where's knee located? On top of light. Say it quickly. Knee on light. Yeah, there you go. I love it when the audience goes, yeah. Did you get that? Is it Haley? Did you get that? Neon light? That a girl. All right. Ants are located where? In your pants. Lazy afternoon. See how it works? Number 8, surrounded by enemy. Surrounded by enemy. Very good. Number 9, miss between friends. Very good. And 10 is very similar analysis to number 9, just between you and me. Emily, you're looking at me like, really? Look, you can look at these forever, and sometimes somebody will say, go, oh, my God, how did I not get that? Number 11, wait. Don't say it out loud. Who remembers their 5th grade grammar? Okay, read it to me. Runama, you're not going to, yeah, hold on. Patrick.
What it is?
Have you got it?
Yeah. I before E except that.
So, in English grammar, we have some rules. One of them is, in words that have an IE or EI combination, right? The I always comes before the E, because it's always confusing to us. Do you put the E first or do you put the I first? The I always comes before the E unless the letters follow the letter C, like receive or receipt. R-E-C-E-I-P-T. R-E-C-E-I-V-E. Right? If there's not a C in the word, like lean, it's L-I-E-N. Right? The I always comes before the E. There are 2 exceptions. If it follows the letter C, who can tell me the rest of that little rule we used to have? Or when sounds like A, as in neighbor, or way. Neighbor, N-E-I-G-H-B-O-R, the E comes before the I. Weigh, like I'm going to weigh myself, right? W-E-I-G-H, weigh. Sleigh, Santa's sleigh, S-L-E-I-G-H. Yeah, those are the only time the E precedes the I. I feel like I'm teaching 5th grade English. You guys are looking at me like, really? I don't remember that. Okay. But that's what it is. It would have been challenging. If you haven't studied English your whole life, it would have been challenging to know that. But it's a good rule to follow, right? Look up Grammar Girls if you want more little rules like that. How many of you use Grammar Girls? Grammar Girl online for a resource to help you with writing and grammar and English and no? Oh, you should check it out. Now, you guys know in here that you cannot rely on spell check, right? Some of you are like, really? Why not? Because artificial intelligence, how many of you realize that artificial intelligence is not all that it is cracked up to be? And you know that because of autocorrect, right? Yeah, it does not understand intent. It does not understand meaning. It does not understand context. So if you write, there go the cows, T-H-E-R, you write T-H-E-I-R instead of T-H-E-R-E, spell check is going to tell you that your pronoun that you didn't need is right because the word is spelled properly, but it's not the word you need to use in that sentence, right? It's not the proper usage. Another example is manager, M-A-N-A-G-E-R. Sometimes I'll get papers that are spelled manger, M-A-N-G-E-R. Well, if you just rely on spell check's going to say, yeah, manger is correct because you spelled manger correct. It doesn't know that you intended manager. You can do the same thing with weather, W-E-A-T-H-E-R. Did we put Ode to Spell Checker on Blackboard? Is it on there? Yeah, let's look and see if it's on there, because that's a fun little thing. If it's not, we should bring it to class and read it. All right, where are we? Number 12, key. It's key ring. Some people say turn key or keyhole, but it's key ring. Who got 13? Sarah, you think you got it? Sit tight. Anybody over here? Think you got it? Alex? Alex. Anybody else? It's a tough one, man. It's a real tough one. Hold on. What do you think it is? Emoji. That's a good guess, though. It's not. Circles where, Myers? 13. Oh no, 14. That's 14. That's thumbs up, actually. Thumbs up. 13, where are the circles located? Under your eye. Circles under the eye. Sarah, are you just really good at these?
I was with my mom doing the rest of it.
Okay. She helped you? Circles under your eyes. And so you're wearing an Aggie t-shirt. Did that help you with thumbs up? Because gig 'em, right? That's the whole thing? You did. You got that one. Okay, good. 15, 6 feet. Underground. Wait, I love 16. Did you get it? How many knotfishes are there? Say it quick. 2 knotfish. I love it. I love to do that one. I'll have a crowd of 1,000 people doing this, and nobody will get it. And I'll go, okay, everybody go, knotfish, knotfish. And then it's pretty fun to have 1,000 people go, knotfish, knotfish. And then say, okay, but I'll say, okay, how many do you have? They'll go 2. And I'll say it quickly, and they'll go, knotfish, knotfish. I go, no, 2 knotfish. Okay. 17, where's Jack located? Jack in the box. You like it? 18, what are those 3 things? What do they represent? Doctorates or degrees, right? 3 degrees below 0. 3 degrees below 0. I don't know, it's 4 degrees below 0, 8 degrees below 0. How many degrees do you want me to put under there, Malik? Number 19, let be bygones. Number 20, tricycle, right? 21, he's, very good. I love 22. How many issues? Say it fast. 10 issues. Tennis shoes. I usually got to point at people's chucks. I go, what do you got there? And they'll go, chucks. I go, no, tennis shoes. 23 is the hardest one. Quit following me. Very good. Sarah, did your mother get that one? You tell her I'm impressed. 24, I understand. 25, hand in hand. Okay, can thinking be fun? Can it be challenging? All right, wait, before you put this up, let's learn a few more things from this. How many did you get working on your own? Not many, right? But when you started bouncing things off of other people, were you able to get more? Does teamwork typically produce more? It does if you'll allow other people to have ideas, not be critical, and not judge them. Do you get that? Because the minute you start judging and being critical of people's ideas, no matter how zany and crazy they are, what's going to happen? They're going to stop coming up with the ideas because they're afraid of your response, unless they have just an amazing level of self-esteem, which not very many people do. Everybody got that? Right? All right. Now, let's talk about one other outcome from this exercise. What does synergy mean? Working together, and take it a little further. Ryan.
Working together to create what? Wouldn't it actually be
You're doing great, dude.
that everybody has an agreement?
Yeah, and we take that and we make a bigger pie than we would have if it was just Ryan. But when Ryan, Patrick, and Caroline all work together, let me do it this way. Watch this. So I'm just going to make some numbers up so it fits. But Patrick, is it fair to say that you got 5 or 6 working on your own? Okay. Ryan, is it fair to say that you also got 5 or 6 working on your own? Caroline, is it fair to say you got 5, 6 working on your own? Less or more? Okay. Caroline got 2 or 3 working on her own. Is that fair? Okay. Now, but when the 3 of them work together, if I had them get together and just combine their efforts, what are the odds that 5 plus 5 plus 3 doesn't even add up to 13? Because why, Alex? What happened?
Came up with
The same ones, right? The left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. They were spending time working on the same problem and didn't know it. And so they might have gotten 8 different ones correct by working apart, right? But when I put them all together, what'd you guys get? 18, 19, 20 working together. Now all of a sudden 5 plus 5 plus 3 equals 18 or 19 or 20. That's called synergy. Do you remember when we were talking about Bloom's levels of learning? Synergistic, right? Synthesis, putting things together. We used the example on the menu of suggesting a wine to go with a food, or to suggesting a dessert that complemented a food. Yeah? Connecting the dots. That takes a higher level of thinking, but you guys did it together, but it also can create a greater outcome. And that's why we work so hard in here to put you in teams. You'll write a paper as a team. You'll do a presentation as a team. Yeah? We want you to understand the value of being on a team. When you get out and you go to work, you're going to be on teams. And you're going to have to get along with people. And you're going to have to do more than your share sometimes. And you're not going to like it. And I get that. But it's part of it. And I want you to learn how to do it in here before you go forward. Okay? So synergy is a cool thing. Let me give you one other example of synergy. Who likes apple pie? All right. What are the ingredients of an apple pie? What is it? Butter. Piper, tell us. Flour, butter, eggs, apples, cinnamon. Got to have cinnamon in my apple pie. Don't we need some baking something? Baking soda or powder? Which one? I don't have any foodies in this class. All right. So Malik, you like apple pie? All right. So if I said, Malik, open your mouth, and I just shoved a little butter in there, and then pushed some flour in there, sprinkled some cinnamon on top, cracked an egg in his mouth, and said, eat that up. Is he going to like that? No. But if I take the time to put it all together and mix it up just right with the right ingredients, right? The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. I added all the parts in Malik's mouth, but it wasn't very good, right? Because I didn't take the time to synergistically put them together like a team can do, right? But when I did take the time, I created an apple pie, and Malik offered to buy the next 100 that I could make, right? Because they were that good. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. That's why teamwork is so valuable, and it's called synergy. Get that? All right, very good. So let's get back today. We're going to take the last 20 minutes or so to talk about the papers and your teams, right? But we're going to spend the next 30 or so continuing our conversation about critical thinking, right? All right. So, what did you learn from this exercise other than what I just taught you? Do you like to think? How many of you do crossword puzzles? Crosswords. How many of you do Sudoku? Sudoku? You do Sudoku? Right. How many of you do things like Lumosity? Or you like do Lumosity on digital games? What are some of the others online? Chess is great game. You like? Yeah, okay, you do that. Yeah, what else? Anybody play backgammon? It's a great strategy game. Minesweeper. Anything else? What do you like to play? Not so much? Blackjack. Okay. Hey, blackjack's a strategy. You're thinking about it, right? All the time. That's good. Are you a big, you're a blackjack guy or a 7-card or Texas Hold'em? You do both. You're a gambler. Yeah? Do you play at the poker clubs around town? Smart guy. Okay, good. Yeah. You watch it on TV? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch that. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So anyway, those games are good, and it's good strategy, and it makes you think. That's all I'm trying to get you to do. I don't care how you do it. But just try not to read and memorize. right? That's what you want to get away from. So you all constantly, when you read things, you want to reflect on it, whether it's a book of fiction or whether it's nonfiction or whether it's a newspaper article, a magazine article. That's what you want to do. Alexis, are you with me? Okay. You didn't have to prove it. I took your word for it, but that's good. Okay. So we're going to move a little ahead in our conversation. The assignment for next week is all about ethics and diversity and the environment. So let's apply critical thinking to those. So let's start with diversity. We'll just see how much progress we can make in our time allotted, and that'll make our life easier for Thursday. Let's start with diversity. How many of you feel like you have a good understanding of the concept of diversity? Olivia? Yeah? You do? Yeah? Okay. What does diversity mean to you? Olivia, you want to kick us off?
A mix of different ideas or mixture.
No, listen, I want to touch right on top of the very first thing you mentioned, which is ideas, because very few people I run into say that. Most people I know, when they think of diversity, they think of race, color, creed, national origin, sex, age, right? And look, I'm just very quickly, from a leadership perspective, you guys, and I think I mentioned this the first day of class, you guys have to realize that age is going to be one of your biggest challenges. Leading and managing people older than you. It's much different than managing and leading people younger than you. And you'll just have to, we can talk more about it, but you're going to have to realize that. But let's talk about this idea thing, because look, from my perspective, and it's not totally ubiquitous or pervasive, but diversity exists much better than it ever did. You can just look in this classroom. Fair? You look at hotels, you look at restaurants today, you look at most businesses. They value diversity. They don't do it because they have to. Now, that's not to say in the United States businesses didn't do it because they had to in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? But those businesses that did learned that there's an additional value to diversity than just having differences and different people and the way they look and the way they speak. And Olivia taught us that it's the different ideas and perspectives that they bring. So there's a word I want you to latch onto and keep in mind. Whenever somebody says the word diversity, I want you to immediately connect the dot to the word inclusion. Inclusion. Because look, you can be diverse, but if you're not listening to the diverse perspectives and ideas and thoughts that your diverse employees have, you're missing the boat. Just having different people in your organization, that's not much value in that other than you might look good to the public. But including those people in your conversations and in your strategy meetings and how you want to reach a market that they might know better than you, that's valuable. So including them, right? So if I'm a hotelier and I want to reach the Latino Chamber of Commerce, am I the best person to do that? You're not going to hurt my feelings. No. Even if I spoke Spanish, would I be the best person? No, but if somebody on my team, even if it was a housekeeper, could I say to her, hey, help me to understand this culture. What is it that's important to them that I might not understand? What types of food and beverage are they looking for? Are they going to like this menu? Right? When I go out and make my pitch, I want to be ready. You see the value in that? But you got to be willing to ask. And you've got to help them feel part of the team. That's a willingness to look at things from a different perspective. And that can help you greatly to understand your markets. How many of you want to go into sales and marketing? All right, well, you get that. You have to. First thing you have to do is to understand who your buyer is, yeah? And how you reach them. So, give that some thought about that. So, it's all about the diversity side is just focus on inclusion. Now, how many of you think we have solved discrimination? Wait, strike that. I'm going to go back to the law class for just a moment. Is discrimination legal? Now think for a minute before you answer. One of the things I hope you walk out of this class with is stopping and thinking before you answer. Is discrimination legal? Think about the words I used. I chose them carefully. Okay, is it Madison? Yeah, I'm sorry, Madison. Madison changed up the facts a little bit, which is okay. She narrowed the scope. She said, not in the workplace. Agree or disagree? Can you think of anything you can discriminate against in the workplace that is not illegal? That is not illegal. But in sexual orientation, in some cases, is not illegal. Let me get an easy one for us in the state of Texas, because you guys have raised some really good ones. It's a bit gray. But let's say if the federal government hadn't created the protection for sexual orientation, I'm sorry, and the federal government actually has not. If your state has not protected sexual orientation, that would be a perfect example, right? Could I discriminate against somebody in the workplace because I don't like the fact that they're gay? What's the answer? Yes. If there's not a law preventing it, right, I can discriminate. What if I say, I won't hire you if you smoke? Can I do that? Yes, unless a state has passed a law that protects outside activities out of the workplace, and mostly tobacco states have done that. Right? Okay. So can I fire you because I don't like you? Sam? No, I don't like. It's not that I don't like you, Sam. I'm just saying, can I do that? Can I say to Emily, Emily, we just don't get along. I'm going to let you go. Yeah, every state has employment at will, which means I can do that, right? So here's the thing you've got to walk away with. Discrimination is legal unless it's illegal. In other words, if it's not a protected class by law, then you're free to make decisions and choose people differently than others. What does discriminate mean? To discriminate. Well, maybe we should have started with that.
To treat differently based on
Particular characteristics. Yeah, it has a disparate impact on a particular group. Right? So, discrimination is legal as long as it's not illegal. In other words, as long as it's not against a protected class. So, but sometimes it's not apparent on its face. So how many of you took the law class? Okay, not that many. You guys bear with me if you remember this. You took my law class? No, okay. All right, you took it with Jayana or somebody else. Okay. I don't know if you had this conversation then. So let's have a couple of situations and let's see what you guys think. Zach, you own a nightclub. Let's say that Zach wants to create a nightclub that's exclusive. Okay? He wants it open to the public, but he wants what he considers to be a higher end clientele. And let's say, Zach, this is back in the 70s. You're a disco king. Back in the 70s in Dallas, Texas, Zach, there was rampant discrimination on the basis of race and color, primarily against blacks, Latinos. Okay? So how would a nightclub operator surreptitiously, in other words, not on its face, discriminate against people of color? You've got to really think. It's okay.
The answer's there.
Well, you can't. Let me ask you a question. Could you put up a sign that says, we don't allow blacks and Latinos? That's prima facie. That's on its face. Does everybody agree with that? That would be illegal. If I said, no Asians allowed, I don't care how much money you have, given that movie I saw. It was great, right? You can't do that in the United States. So if you can't do that, what do some of these discrimination-minded people do? Yes, Andy, help them out.
They cannot let them in at the door based on what they're wearing, their shoes.
Do they use dress codes? They use dress codes, right? So we try to do indirectly what we're not able to do directly. Do you see? Directly would be blacks and Hispanics not allowed. Well, we can't get away with that. But if I made a dress code that said men have to be in a jacket and tie, right? Ladies have to be in heels, whatever it is. And I know in the 70s that blacks and Hispanics in Dallas, Texas couldn't always afford to dress like that. Would I be discriminating against them? Because it would have a disparate impact against them. Do you see? Generally speaking. Now let me tell you what these, in my opinion, evil-minded people did. They not only said that, but they went on to say men had to be clean-shaven. Is that discriminatory? Why? Who said yes? Why? You were in the law class. Deborah.
People of a certain religion don't shave.
Back then, it wasn't so much on the religion side. Today, it would certainly be that way. Very good. Good thinking. Can you think of anything else? What percent of black men have facial hair? 80 or 90%, right? And it's primarily because the skin is a little more sensitive, and so it's easier for them not to shave every day, right? So, on its face, did that sound discriminatory? But when you step back and looked at it and thought about the impact that it had on a particular protected class, can you see that it was discriminatory? Do you see that? All right. But you got to think. And you got to think deeper than just on the surface. Fair? All right. Now, we all agreed then. I want to make sure I got this right. What's your name? Tiffany? So we all agreed then that on its face, I cannot put a sign up that says blacks, Hispanics Not allowed. Just I couldn't put a sign up that says, white people can't come in. Fair enough? Catholics are not allowed. All illegal on its face. Yes. Unless we're a private club. We're not going down that line of thinking. I just want you to know there is an exception. If you're truly private, very few organizations in the United States today are actually private. That's not where I'm going, though. So now, how many of you have ever been to, what are the protected classes? Federal government. Race, color, creed, which is what? Religion. Race, color, creed, national origin, where somebody's from, sex. Age is not protected in the Civil Rights Act. Age is protected only in employment and only after the age of 40. Okay? Race, color, creed, national origin, and sex. Right? Race. So I can't say no Orientals allowed. Right? Color. I can't say no Hispanics or no brown or black people allowed. Everybody agrees. That's illegal. Right? And would be offensive. Everybody good? Thank you. No Muslims or no Catholics allowed. Illegal, right? It's on the basis of what? Religion. Yeah? National origin. Nobody from Syria allowed. Nobody from Iran, Persia, Iran allowed. Can't do that, right? National origin. Sex. Aha! Women get in free. Is that legal? Ladies, what do you think? Sarah's up there going, well, yeah. Cassidy says we do it all the time. What do you think, Piper? Is that legal? You think it is? You got to help me. You got to help me understand why all those other things are not legal. What's the basis for the differentiation? Why do women get in free? Because of their, hold on, I'm not talking about the economic justification. Why do women get in free? Because of their gender. Clearly. It's a protected class. So who's being discriminated against? Men. Right? On its face, it's discriminatory. On its face, it's illegal discrimination. We're going to go on down the road, but I want to be sure everybody gets that. Do you understand why? Andy, you get it? You understand why? Madison? I'm not saying you have to agree with the philosophy. I'm just saying, do you understand why that's illegal just like everything else is illegal? It's a protected class, and you can't, gender is a protected class, and you cannot discriminate based on a protected class, right? So why does it happen? Because men are what? Because we don't enforce it. Yeah, because men like it. Right? And I'm going to also say men sometimes are a little slow. I mean, let's face it, like, you don't see a men's night out there anyway, do you? All right. So bars do ladies' night to attract a critical mass of whom? Women. Well, women, because they know if the women are there, what will follow? Men. All right, or however it works. But at that, and Madison said, but look, there's an economic, it makes money. But just because something makes money, does that make it legal? Does that make it the right thing to do? So when we think about ethics and we think about critical thinking, the skill set I gave you, we've been talking about it should help you make better choices in the things that you do. And these types of situations are prevalent in our industry. You work for Monster? Is it ethical? I'm not saying legal. I'm saying, is it ethical for a company like an energy drink company, we won't just use Monster, to encourage bars to serve energy drinks mixed with alcohol? Madison, you see it differently? No? You agree? Does the brand see it that way? Ah, okay. So do you see why? That's dangerous. Right? All right, let me give you, how many of you work at hotels? All right, quite a number of you. You work at hotels. And how many of you have worked at the front desk before? All right, and how many of you have been overbooked at your hotel? All right, I'm sorry, your name is? Gopi. With a P or a B? P, Gopi. So Gopi, you've worked, you have a hotel, let's say you have 100 rooms in your hotel. You overbook it to 105. That never happens, right? All the time, right? You're trying to get a perfect sellout, got 105. Now, you've got 105 guaranteed reservations. So far, everybody see where I'm going here? 105 guaranteed reservations for Tuesday night. Okay? 100 people show up. You sell out. 5 people don't show, don't cancel. What do you do with those 5 people that didn't show and didn't cancel? Charge them as no-shows. Now, I'm one of those no-shows. Now, what she just said is what 95% of all innkeepers will tell you that's what they'll do. Right? If you were one of those no-shows, would you be okay with that?
If you didn't know how it works. Agreed.
Oh! Oh, wait. If I didn't understand the industry, oh, I see. So it's the customer's fault. Hold on, I'm going to see that. So, but wait, what's the basis for you charging them? What's the what? Well, no, I didn't show up. I didn't cancel. How did I violate the contract? I didn't show up, which is something I said I would do. So I didn't fulfill my promise, right? Let me ask you this question, Gopi. Had I shown up, would you have been able to give me a room? No. You wouldn't have, would you? Because you sold out. You still feel the same way? That the customer violated the contract, or did Gopi violate the contract? Because she sold more rooms than she had. Customer violated it? Customer violated it.
I mean, as long as they don't know.
Oh, okay, now we're getting someplace. So as long as we keep it a secret that I didn't have a room for you if you'd have shown up, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yes.
So let me ask you a question. So are there things that you've done in your life, looking back, that if you knew your parents would have known about it, would you have still done them?
Wait, say it again.
Yeah, are there things you've done in your life that before you did those things, you knew that the next morning your parents were going to know about what you did? Would you have still done them? It depends. Would you have still done them?
Really depends.
Yeah. So there are some things then, if it depends, right? So one way to help yourself make better choices is to realize that no matter what you do, it's more than likely going to be made public, especially today. Right? That's a good filter to run any decision you make by. Now, it will definitely provide some boundaries in your life as well. You're like, really? I don't want to live that way. Well, that's okay. That's your choice. But you just got to realize, especially in business, that that's a good test to help you determine if what you're getting ready to do is the right thing to do. Do you see why? Okay, but let's get back over here. Gopi we made a contract, right? But you made a contract with 105 people. But part of that contract is that we're going to pay you for a room. Did I ever get the room? And would you have been able to deliver the room had I shown up? Okay, so you were going to breach as well, right? Now, under a contract, any contract, is the non-breaching party entitled to more money than they would have made if the contract had been fully executed? Ethan says no. Olivia's shaking her head yes. Are you agreeing with Ethan? You think they could get more, but is that the right thing to do? See, they can get more by touching people like me for $100 or whatever, $200 a night, right? But if I ever find out that you didn't have those rooms available to me, what's going to happen?
You're going to demand more.
I'm going to get my money back, and I'm going to go tell everybody else, and I'm going to sue you and sue you on behalf of everybody else that you've done that to. Not you personally.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not here telling you not to do that. I'm here telling you to think about the things you do before you do them. And just because something makes money doesn't necessarily make it the right thing to do. And I want you to stop and think about the potential consequences before you make up your mind. Look, if you can live with the consequences, have at it. Somebody had their hand up. Is it Ali? Tell me.
So, in the contract, some contracts, depending on which one it is, it says that you will provide them a room at the midnight. So, most hotels, if we oversell, such as mine, we walk the guest to another hotel. We're providing a room, and to be more ethical.
Ali needs to go to law school. That's good. I like the way you differentiated that. You did that, right? But I didn't buy a room. I didn't buy a room. I bought a room at your hotel.
But it's more like we're providing you a place to stay regardless of where it is. So, my hotel, we have multiple Marriotts around us, and we are a Marriott. So, we walk you to another Marriott.
Yeah,
Owned by
yeah.
that company.
LKQ, like, kind, and quality, right? I get that. You do that. But let's say everybody was sold out in your space.
Within the area?
Yeah. The question, though, is, then you got 5 no-shows and you're sold out. Are you going to charge those no-shows? All right, I think that's a fair assessment of how you do it, right? But then you've got to decide how you want to run your business. And if your employees see you doing that and treating your customers that way, how do you think your employees are going to think you're going to treat them? Well, there you go. So it's just a lot. Look, you've got to be willing to think about. And you have to realize the message that you're sending to people when you do those things. Yeah. I forgot your name, my son. Yes. Oh, I thought you had your hand up.
Oh, no.
Ethan had his hand up, excuse me.
I thought the only nationally recognized industry that can legally
Overbook?
charge for it is
Airlines. Yeah.
So how do hotels get away with it?
Airlines are authorized by law to overbook under the Federal Aviation Administration, right? Hotels are not authorized anywhere to overbook. They just haven't been sued yet by the right class action. Yeah. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. So, but look, I don't bring it up to chastise you for doing it. That's up to you. It's your business. Right? You're doing it. You have the customer relationship challenges, and they'll lead to those, right? How you do? And what's an alternative to charging that customer that $200? Yeah, you can who said that? Give them a warning, right, sir? Yeah, you could send them a letter, and you could say, hey, Mr. Barth, you had a reservation, and we don't think we heard from you. If we missed it, we're sorry. We're just letting you know that we were able to sell your room, so we're not going to charge you this time. But please know that in the future, if you don't comply with our cancellation policy, we're going to have to charge you if we can't sell the room. Now, what have you done with that? See, if you charge that card for the room, how many of you get pushback from the customer when you charge them? No show, it's a fight, isn't it, all the time. And then they hit the credit card company, they say, don't pay that, right? And then you got to spend all that time and trouble going to that. But if you do it this way, what have you just created for a long time? A loyalty, incredible customer loyalty. And that's what you're looking for today. Because you demonstrated empathy. You gave them the benefit of the doubt. And you're able to sell the room. Just trying to get you to think differently for a different outcome. And then the other thing you need to think about is opportunity cost. Sure, you made $200, but the fight cost you $1,000 of your time. Is it worth it? It's up to you, but you have to decide that. I want you to remember to think about opportunity cost before you step into a battle. Do you see? Opportunity cost is crucial. Everybody in this room should have a keen understanding of opportunity cost. You're sitting in this classroom instead of working and getting paid. Well, there damn well better be sufficient value for your time here or in the entire curriculum, or you should be out working. Do you see that? The long term, you guys are sacrificing short-term revenue and position for hopefully what you would think would be long-term investment and gain. It's the same proposition you have to talk yourself through for a master's or a law degree. Same kind of thing. You have to think about those things. That's all about critical thinking and thinking perhaps a little deeper and connecting the dots. Everybody good? Other situations that might arise in this business. Give me another one. Helma.
We can't charge a card. So if somebody comes to check in, we need to magnetically swipe a card. There's a card already on file. Sometimes the guest wants to check in, and the reservation isn't under their name, and they're just like, just charge that card. We can't do that unless there's a credit authorization form.
Right.
But yet when it comes to the no-show, we don't need the credit authorization form.
Oh. Yeah, that's a fair point, right? They just charge the card then.
Yes, make that
Oh, yeah.
because she wasn't on the reservation. She was like, just use that card. I don't want to put my card down. We're like, we can't do that
No.
without the credit authorization form. She's like, okay, but if I didn't show up to my reservation, you would still charge that card.
It's a fair point. It's a very fair point. Yeah. Sometimes we work ourselves into a circle. Problem. That's a good example. You guys think of some more for our conversation on Thursday. And I've asked you also to read. We're not going anywhere yet, but on the reading packet you'll find some information about ethics. And I'd like for you to spend some time thinking about that and making ethical decisions. And one of the questions you want to ask yourself is, would I still do this if it were going to be made public? Right? Yeah. All right. How would you feel if somebody did it to you? It's a great way to establish empathy. Very good. Yeah, put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, listen, a lot of customer service conflicts could be solved if the business stopped and asked themselves if they would be okay being treated that way. Yeah, that's a very good point, Cassidy. And Audrina. Yeah. Right. You're going to charge them, right?
But in some cases, like the therapists and massage therapists would get upset if people wouldn't come in and we wouldn't charge their card. But there were certain situations, like I got a call one time from a person's assistant, and they were like freaking out and just losing their mind, saying that they couldn't get into the appointment because their person was like going into labor, so they couldn't come in for their massage or their treatment.
Right.
And so I didn't charge the card. It wasn't 24 hours in advance, so I should have, but I didn't because it's an emergency situation. And the therapist got really upset with me because that was like her time and her money, which I understand. But she got so mad to the point that like she wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but look at it from her perspective. Maybe she had rent due. Maybe she had a child that she needed to take to the doctor, right? So, listen, if somebody has plenty of money, that kind of thing's not going to bother them at all, right? That's why empathy is so important. I'm not saying what she did was justified. I'm just saying we got to think about what it is. And look, there's that's such a great example. There's so you were the gatekeeper, right? But you didn't know if what that person told you was true. To this day, you don't know that. See, it's why I don't have excused absences in here. Because I'll get kids that deserve an Academy Award. They say, oh my God, my great uncle, he's, whatever, and I'm like, really? Okay. And then 2 weeks later, oh, my great aunt. And I'm like, well, hold on. Yeah, how big a family do you have? But I don't have the time or the inclination to go try to prove things. So I just learned a long time ago, I don't do it. At my conferences, I say the same thing. If you cancel, you don't get your money back. I'll give you credit for next year, but you don't get your money back. And I'll have people's secretary come, well, they can't come. I said, well, I get that, but look, it says right here you can't come. It's just like your argument, Ali, about, hey, it's in the agreement. But the difference is, if they'd have come to the conference, we have a seat. Come to the hotel, we don't. That's the distinction, you see? If you guys only had sold 95 rooms out of your 100 and had 5 people not show, that's a different conversation. You see that, right? Okay. It's only when you couldn't perform that it gets to be a challenge. It's a great example. And it's a great example of how a leader's decision impacts not just the customer, but other people involved. Ownership groups, management companies. Let's take another one real quick while it's on my mind. Let's say that you, this side of the room, you guys are the hotel owners. You own the hotel. You are the third-party management company of that hotel. You guys are the third-party management company of the hotel. You have it's a big hotel with lots of meeting space. And you have a group that's supposed to pick up, let's make it 3,000 room nights during a week at $400 a night. So 120 grand. Okay? 120 grand. But they only pick up 200 room nights. So, and there's no allowable attrition. They were supposed to pick up all of that. So they're short 60 grand. Forget the math. Just say they're short 60 grand on the room pickup. All right? Now, you as a management company, this is the only hotel you operate for this ownership group. But Samir, you have a great relationship with this meeting planner, and he or she brings lots of other business to your other managed hotels. And so you say to them, you go, hey, if you'll rebook at another one of our hotels, we're going to let you slide on this $60K. What do you say about that? You own the hotel.
I'd say long term they owe us that money. Or they owe the hotel company that money.
The owners, but they're not going to tell you that they did it. You going to be okay with that? No, you're not going to like that. You're not like that. They just gave $60,000 of your money away to do what? To earn it someplace else that they have they own. Are they representing you? Are they supposed to be representing you? That's called a fiduciary responsibility. But that's going on every single day out there. And you need to know about it, you need to think about it, but it's just another example of how this stuff can come back to bite you. So what have hotel ownership groups started to do to hold management companies accountable? Because generally speaking, do ownership groups know how to run hotels? If they did, they'd run them. I'm talking about big insurance companies, pension plans, retirement, big venture capital groups. They invest in big hotel properties and developments, right? But they don't know how to run them, so they hire a third party to manage them. You guys know all about that. All right. So what are ownership groups doing to help them get a better handle on how the management company is operating their hotel? Samir, got an idea?
Some owners are like pretty hands-on even when the management company, if they
They stay in, they do more, exactly right. There's something else they do.
Is there communication between all hotels?
They,
So I mean, they would know if one person's taking the business somewhere else.
somewhere else, so they would get report. That's going to be a challenge because the management company's probably not going to want to share other owners' information with you. That could be helpful, but I don't think it's probable. Do you see why?
Yeah.
Okay.
establishing a legal contract, or for like bigger parties, having like a deposit put down.
Laying it out in the contract, a code of conduct, what they can do and what they can't do, right? But again, you don't know that unless what? They tell you, or you do an audit of some sort, and you got to investigate, talk to the customers. There's also what's going on is known as an intermediary third party. Intermediator, that's not right. Intermediary, thank you, third party, known as an asset management company. So the ownership group would hire Spencer as an asset manager, and Spencer would be the liaison between the owners and the management company. And Spencer would be involved in those types of decisions representing whom? The owners, to be sure that the management company is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? A lot going on in this world because there is so much money at stake. So think about all of that. Think about the different constituencies and stakeholders involved in these decisions, and think about filtering your decisions through whether or not, if it would be made public, if we'd still do it. Very good. Great stuff. All right. Let's talk about papers. Let's talk about teams. Let's talk about all that stuff. Spencer, we're going to release the teams today for paper one. Have you guys gotten your teams yet? Okay. Does everybody know everybody? Okay. Pull out your devices and find out who your teammate is. And let's get you matched up right now. We're going to take 5 minutes to do this. Go, 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 quickly. If you know who your teammate is, go find them. You can look at name badges. Paper one. Presentation teams are different teams. Yeah, but what? Okay. Who's on their own? Spencer, where is it on Blackboard? Groups at the bottom. See it? Yeah. Has everybody got it? Keep looking. Are you on the app? Yeah. Go to groups at the bottom. Did you find it?
Looks like, because remember some students
Yeah.
dropped out.
Uh-huh.
So some students are now, because I did this
Yeah.
last week, I
Uh-huh.
might need to.
Redo a few? Just
Add-
who's ever
add-
won,
add the
just put them
ones.
together. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, look. Hey, if you're by yourself, does everybody find it now? Okay, here's what I want to do. Hold on. We can do this in an organized way. Did everybody find the list where you've identified with a partner? Some of you don't have a partner. How many of you are in that situation? Raise your hand. 3 of you? Okay. You two need to come down, Dean, and talk to Spencer. All right? And he's going to connect you two. Madison, you're going to be on your own. You okay with that? Let me think for just one moment. Strike that. Spencer, Let's make it one team of 3 instead of a team of 1. So Madison, you'll be working with Dean and Michelle. Okay, so you guys need to get together real quick, trade contact information. Now, can everybody else find your teammate? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to find your teammate, look at the name tags, trade information, and go. Once you've traded information, please get back to your seat. If you need my help, let me know now. Run Mal, who are you looking for? Sarah? Sarah, run Mal. Trade information. Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce this.
Julio. Julio. Hola, Julio. Julio.
Great, how are you?
Meet Caroline.
Yeah, Caroline.
You guys are in a team. It's like Match.com, dude. Okay. Who do you need? I'm sorry, I can't see it.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I can't make it larger. It's the first name.
Arshdeep.
Yeah.
Arshdeep. Right here. Who do you need?
Rory.
Rory. Rory. Rory. Rory. Not here?
Send an email.
Okay, look. All right. Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
Do you need some help? Okay. Okay, you guys need to let Spencer know. Okay, wait. Some people drop.
Okay.
So I need to send him an email if you don't hear back. Hey, listen.
Will do.
Listen. Anybody having trouble finding their partner? Who are you looking for? Amanda Villarreal. Okay, here's the thing. Send her an email. You can do it through Blackboard, right? Okay, if you don't hear from her by Thursday, she's more than likely dropped the class. Let Spencer know. You do the same. And if not, then because we might have to do some different teams. But you guys get the word out right away. We're not going to give them long. If they don't respond, they're fired. We're going to do our other team, okay? Thank you. Yes, sir. Colin. 1 second. That's a great question. Give it 1 second. Everybody has the same topic. Give me 1 second. Ten minutes. Oh, you got to pee? I do too.
When is your intro class?
10 to 11:20.
On?
Tuesday, Thursday.
Can I come to your class tomorrow?
Thursday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. Can I still come in on Thursday?
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to him about the 4+1 program.
Yeah, she's actually coming, or somebody's coming. Okay.
It was like I saw her today.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
we should get more people.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah.
finally have a table.
Yeah. She's going to come down.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're good. Yeah, I told her to come anytime. Okay. All right, guys, listen up. So, Colin asked on everybody's behalf, is there an assignment? Yes. It's called Paper 1. And it's the Paper 1 prompt. It's an assignment on critical thinking, right? Remember, we're going to talk about it, then we're going to think about it, we're going to research about it, we're going to write about it, and teach me what you've learned. That gets us into Bloom's learning. The assignment is there. Take a look at it. If you have any questions about it, let's talk about it on Thursday. All right? We'll read through it carefully by Thursday. Now, listen to me carefully, please. Is it important that you read directions carefully?
Yes.
All right. I'm not out to be tricky, but you need to read the prompt carefully and deliver what the prompt asked you to deliver. Okay? The prompt is the assignment. You only have one page, about 300 words. You need to make every single word count. Right? Now, there is a written paper grading criteria worksheet on Blackboard. Find that. Review it carefully before you begin to write your paper. That is your target. Those are your goals that you're trying to reach with your paper, right? You should know your grade before you turn your paper in. If you look at that grading sheet and you understand your expectations, what's expected of you, and then you deliver on those expectations, you should know what the evaluation is going to be before you turn the paper in. Do you see why? All right. When you turn your paper in, and this is all in the prompt, the night before it's due, one team member needs to turn the paper in via Turnitin on Blackboard. Have you used Turnitin before? Okay, Turnitin is, for those of you that don't know, look, I'm not big on academic dishonesty. I don't want to catch anybody doing anything wrong, so I tell you up front, Turnitin, all the papers from my previous classes have all been done through Turnitin. Also, all the information on the internet is checked via Turnitin. So when you turn your paper in, it's going to tell me what percentage of your paper matches something else that's out there, right? So if you're going to quote something, this is one page. I'm going to give you about 5% leeway, right? So I don't want a quote that takes up half a page. I want to know what you think. Don't just regurgitate to me knowledge. Show me that you comprehend it by putting it in your own words. Yes? All right. So one of you will turn it in to Turnitin. I will get that evaluation. Then the next morning, one of you will turn in a hard copy of your paper with the grading sheet on top, then your paper, then your bibliography, all stapled neatly in the left-hand corner, with your team number and PeopleSoft numbers on all 3 pages. Why do I want that? In case they get separated, I can put them back together. Young.
Is everything you just said on Blackboard?
On the prompt, yes it is. Yes. Good question, thank you. And we'll talk more about it as we get closer to the turn-in date. Now listen, writing a one-page paper sounds simple. It is not. Writing a one-page paper with a partner is a challenge. Okay? Next week, we're going to begin talking about emotional intelligence. Those conversations will help you manage teamwork and interactions. So we're going to practice that as well in your teams. Can teamwork be frustrating? All right. I've given you in the syllabus, I've given you a set of core values that I expect everybody to follow as a team member. There's also some information in your reading packet about working on a team. I expect you to read that. I expect you to be a good team member. Listen to me carefully. I will not hesitate to fire you from a team. If I fire you from a team for not doing your part, you get a 0 on that assignment. I rarely do that, and the evidence has to be pretty significant and overwhelming. But I'm not going to tolerate somebody not doing their fair share of work. Everybody, what's the number one complaint about people on teams? not doing their share, and people taking advantage of other people. We're not doing that. Listen, you have to be available, and today there is no excuse. You do not have to meet face to face. You can talk on the phone, you can talk via Twitter, you can do direct messaging, you don't even have to see each other. Google Docs. That's what I want you to learn. I'd rather you not work face to face. I'd rather you learn to work remotely and collaboratively. And remember, this is on the prompt as well, you have to use track changes. Everybody gets assigned a different color. That way, I see the relative contribution of each person to the paper. I will see all the drafts. You have to turn that into me. Yeah? We'll talk more about how you do that later on. If you have a color printer, you can print it out and attach it. If not, you can email it to me before the paper is due. That's all on the prompt as well, with a very particular subject line that I need you to put on there. All right? Much more to talk about. I'll make sure you're well prepared and understand. Read the prompt. Go have a great afternoon. Great discussion in class. Thank you very much. Yay! Darn, I wish I hadn't done that. Spencer, are we doing okay? You are so sweet. Where'd you find these? Ah, thank you.